So page 144, past participles used as adjectives. Okay. In English, many past participles have the same form as the past tense of the verb. You can tell the past tense verb form because it has a subject, while the participle describes a noun. So if you say, I burned my hand, then obviously I'm the subject, burned is the verb, and hand is the direct object. But if you say, my hand is burned, things change, right? Because now my hand is kind of the subject, and then is the verb, and what's burned? Well, burned describes the hand. It's like an adjective, right? So there's your past participle, your participle, how it can get used. All right, so now let's look here. In Spanish, since the past participle always has a different form from the preterite tense, see how these are the same form, burned and burned? But in Spanish, since the past participle always has a different form from the preterite tense, you can tell them apart. So if you say me quemé, from quemar is to burn. So me quemé la mano, you'd be saying, I burned myself the hand. Tengo la mano quemada, you'd say, I have the hand burned, right? So in Spanish, how would you say, I sprained my wrist? And my wrist is sprained, okay? Think about that. Pause this if you want to, because I'm about to show you. In Spanish, how would you say, I sprained my wrist? It's past tense. Versus saying, my wrist is sprained. Also past tense, right? But that's the participle. So I'll just show you. You could say, me torcí, I twisted la muñeca. Okay? I twisted the doll. No, I twisted my wrist. I sprained my wrist. Or, tengo la muñeca torcida. I have the wrist twisted. Okay? So, verbs have a form called the past participle, which can be used as an adjective. You can use it to describe a condition or an injury to a part of the body. So, using it as a verb, you'd say, me torcí el tobillo. Okay? I sprained the ankle, right? Myself, I sprained the ankle. Me torcí el tobillo. Past participle, don't focus. Past participle of torcer as an adjective, you would say, tengo, I have, el tobillo, the ankle, torcido, twisted. It's sprained. It's a torcido, it's sprained. So I have is tengo. You could say yo tengo if that helps you. Yo tengo el tobillo torcido. So you can see how they're different. Number 2, to form the past participles of regular verbs, you just drop the infinitive ending and add ado to the AR verbs and ido to the ER and IR. So if you have hinchar, which means to swell, then you could say hinchado. Hinchado means it is swollen. If you have torcer, which means to twist, you could say torcido for twisted or sprained. You could say herir, which means to hurt. Herido means it is hurt. Okay? So herir, to hurt, means, the infinitive. But herido is the state that it is hurt. Tengo el dedo herido is I have my finger hurt. Some past participles are irregular. These just learn them. Okay, so romper is roto. Abrir is abierto. Don't even mess with is it an IE because of a just learn it for now. Especially here at the end of the year like this. When used as adjectives, participles must agree with nouns in number and gender. So you should be used to this from adjectives, right? So tiene las rodillas hinchadas. Okay? You're not going to say tiene las rodillas hinchado. Right? You know how we say the stories are boring in English, but in Spanish we have to go the stories are borings, right? Las historias son aburridas, right? Los burritos son terribles, where in Spanish you would say the burritos are awful. These are terrible burritos, but you use terrible like singular. But in Spanish you have to say the burritos are terribles, right? Los burritos son terribles, horribles. So here you'd have to say tiene las rodillas hinchadas. Where over here, since it's singular and masculine, because it's el dedo, you'd say tengo el dedo hinchado. If these were plural fingers, you'd say tengo los dedos hinchados. If this tiene las rodillas hinchadas, if you're talking about one knee, I only have one swollen knee, you would say tengo la rodilla hinchada. Or if you wanted to specifically say I have one swollen knee, I have one knee swollen, you would say tengo la rodilla hinchada. So more past participles for conditions or injuries. Cortar is to cut, so cortado. Infectar is to infect, so infectado. Quemar is to burn, so quemado. And vendar means to bandage, so it's vendado.